Let's move on then. Let's talk about Cody Gakpo, man of the moment. His ratings are outstanding for this game, and you wouldn't be surprised, with 2 goals and an assist. He gets 9.2 from Sofa, scored 9.3 from Who scored 9.2 from FOTMob. That's what happens when you score 2 goals and get an assist. 6 consecutive Anfield appearances now for Cody Gakpo, getting a goal as well, Jay. He was... the goals are striker goals. They are effectively, both of them are right in the middle of the goal. One's following in from a save off the goalkeeper. Of course, we should have mentioned that with Sabozlai. He has the shot that leads to that goal, and then he gets on the end of Trent's cross. But we've seen Gakpo score a range of goals from that left hand side. It was good to see actually that with Diaz playing as the 9 or the false 9 or whatever, Gakpo took it upon himself sometimes to get himself in the box. He added to the fact that he plays the ball for Salah's assist. It was an excellent performance from Gakpo.
Yeah, great all round. I think it's a good point you make about the range of goals, because we've seen when he comes in, you think, well, he's quick, he's electric, he's got pace, he can beat a man and stuff like that. But we've seen he gets in on the back post a lot. He scores a load of tap-ins from 2-3 yards out, which you need. He's big and he's a big man. He scores headers. He's done the kind of reverse of Mo Salah, cutting inside from the other side, finding the far corner. So yeah, he's been a player that he's frustrated people at times, maybe not to the same extent as Nunez, but there's been times when, especially last season, where you really want him to go on a bit of a run and he looks really anonymous and you think, I don't really know what you're offering. He's really proved this season, since maybe it's having that clarity from Slaughter saying, you're my left winger, your days as the number 9 are over. Although actually, to be fair, him and Diaz can dovetail a little bit. There are times when if Diaz goes on the overlap, he'll cut inside, so they do work that out pretty well. But yeah, he's now, I mean, he's I was going to say he's a key man, but we've got a full team of key men when you think about it. I was going to say, Jay,
because you look at the men who've perhaps benefited most. Because listen, managerial changes can be good and bad for certain players. And for example, at this moment in time, it's probably been bad for Endo or bad for Elliott, who perhaps will find their game time limited more than what they wanted. Maybe Gerald Kwanzaa in the same boat, of course. Ended last season as first choice. He isn't really that no more. Gravenberch has definitely had the benefit, but Cody Gakpo, the manager's made his role very, very clear. You're my left winger. Cody Gakpo last season scored 16 goals in all comps. He played 53 times. He's already now on 14 goals. He's only played 32 games. He only had 6 assists in the whole of last season. He's on 5 already after the one today. He's been one of the main benefactors of the Arne Slot era of, you're my left winger, your job is very simple. Get to the byline when you can, cut inside when you can, that delivery, but get yourself in the box and score goals as well. And today, he showed everything that his manager's been asking of him.
Yeah, I think Slot mentions a lot of the time in the press conference about the overall contributions from the entire front line. So I think that might be, maybe take the pressure off a bit. Obviously, Mo's the main man for goals, and he always has been. But I think he could go into a game thinking, well, if I don't get on the score sheet today, but I set someone up, I'm doing my job. I don't have to hang my head and go, oh, God, I haven't scored a goal. But if he can get on the score sheet, then that's great. I'm just really looking forward to seeing what he can produce now between now and the end of the season. I think they've got the rotation thing down. So whether it's him or whether it's Diaz on the left, there's not really any. They're different players, but there's not really any drop off. It's a bit of a coin toss as to who you'd pick if we were playing in a Champions League final or whatever. Really promising from him. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do between now and the end of the season.
And it's interesting as well because he's very clearly a different player than Sadio Mane. They are very different in their attributes, but what they both had was that absolute willingness and desire to score goals from left wing. They're not centre forward. I know they both played centre forward. Mane towards the end actually was playing a little bit more centre forward. Gakpo, when he arrived, was in and out the side of centre forward. But that thirst to get in the box and score goals, not all wingers have that. Not all wingers do. It's just it's a different mentality. And listen, today he scores goals that the first one is a tap-in, but he's in the right place. He reacts first. Goal scorer's instinct. The second one, he makes a really good run, times it to perfection to stay onside, nods it home. That thirst for a winger, like Salah's up, we know Salah's got it. Salah's had it since day one. But to see someone on the other side who's got that real, if your number 9 is going to be like a false 9 or players who perhaps aren't as lethal, Gakpo being able to do what Salah does on the other side and really want to score goals, that's a huge positive today, because like I say, he's involved in 3 of the 4 goals that keep Liverpool top of the league today, well, with the same gap as previous with Arsenal.
Yeah, I think it's been a bit of a frustration as well, seeing him for Holland, seeing him in the World Cup, seeing him in the Euros, in comparison to maybe last season or the season before. You see him bursting into the box. He's kind of their main goal-scoring outlet. You see him bursting into the box. You see him scoring great finishes. He's done a little bit of that for Liverpool in his time, obviously, but he's really replicating that now. The other thing I think was good today, getting that assist, that curved ball in. There have been games in the past where that's been a bit of a kind of hopeful, like, I'll just toss it in and see what happens. And Salah does it on the other side. Salah does the little kind of Trivella thing on the other side. Yeah. Trent does it on the other side. But if we can find our man on the back post, then that can be a real weapon, especially when you're playing against a low block, because, you know, as we've all seen, it's difficult to break sides like that down. Salah's such a clever player in the box. He just got that little inch of space off Leif Davis. So, yeah, that's another weapon. I think if Cody can keep chipping those balls in, but not aimlessly, if you know what I mean. It's a difficult one, because obviously not every cross is going to work. That's just another
he picks
element of his arsenal.
He definitely picks them out. And it's interesting, Jay, because now if he adds that to his game, which we know he can do, when he cuts inside, you have to worry about the cross and the shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're the fullback now, we've all seen, and I'm sure Kieran McKenna would have been saying to his fullbacks all game, Gakpo loves to cut inside and shoot. And actually he's just opened his foot up a little bit more and played it out. That's a double-edged sword, really, where the man, we know, because you've seen it time and time again, he can find that far corner, but this time the fact he can pick Salah out, and it's an inch perfect ball, and listen, Salah's finish is a joke from that angle. It's ridiculous. It's just, it goes to show like the quality this lad's got, because, you know, it isn't him who's being shifted inside at the moment. It's Luis Diaz, and especially at Anfield, like say 6 games in a run now where he scored a goal, he's really starting to, you know, take an impact. He's a massive reason as to why Liverpool are where they are this season.
Yeah, I've been so impressed with him. That attacking unit, it's got a lot of competition as well, is another thing. It's such a vote of confidence from Slot, because I've even seen brief glimpses of Chiesa on the left. I've seen him cutting in. I'm thinking, I wouldn't mind him there. I'm probably going back a while now, but Nunez has had little spells there. Jota's had little spells there. Slot's having none of it. It's you or Lucho, and at this moment in time, he's the man who possesses the shirt. He's the man who's doing the business from left wing. He's have that trident attack, the 2 wings. Salah cutting in on his left, Gakpo cutting in on his right. Any defence we come up against is not going to fancy dealing with either of those two.
No, so I thought, Gakpo, he was. I think on all the stats websites he was named as the man of the match. Would you go along with that? I mean, again, there was loads of good performers, but 2 goals and an assist. He probably is right that he deserves that.
I mean, you can't say fairer than that, can you? You know, he's massive contribution to winning the game.
Yeah, he's in such good form. Again, especially at Anfield, he's really, pardon the pun, he's found a home, and it's really working for him.